Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Decent Leadership. And today's this year's theme is situational leadership. And today we have, a great speaker and a director at the Cambridge Leadership, and you'll be speaking on the power of purpose-driven leadership. So let's welcome Mr. Amos. Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you so very much, Miracle, for having me.
So, I would love to briefly introduce Mr. Amos, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to briefly just say, Mr. Amos has diverse background in research and development, and he's also a project manager at the same time. He also studied University of Ibadan. Let me see what else again. What else again? Let me see. Okay, and then is a member of the association of let me see. Let me see. For coaching and Cambridge University coaches, and as also as a director at Cambridge Leadership and the best-selling author of Seven Secrets of High Achievers. So it's a great privilege to have him here today, and I'm really grateful that I have Mr. Amos today, and he'll be sharing some insights. And I've known him for a while, and I believe that he's going to share stuff that are going to really inspire and at the same time help us to grow. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, Mr. Amos, the floor is yours, sir.
Wow, thank you so very much for having me. Really, really appreciate. Thank you, Miracle, for all the incredible work you've been doing. I don't know if you can see my screen. Okay, fantastic. I hope I'm on the presenting mode.
Yes, yes. It's
Uh,
reflecting actually. It is.
so that's the presentation mode, right?
Yeah, yes. Let
Is it
me
still
let
on?
me let me let me no no let me see. Okay, let's put it on the let me see. Is this fine?
No, yeah, yeah. Can you see the presentation mode or the
Yes.
main?
No, I can see the presentation with the power of yes. I can see the image.
Okay, fantastic, and it's full screen.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me make it full screen. Let me make it full screen now.
Thank
Making
you.
it full screen. Now this is full screen now.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much for having me. Honestly, I've been following for some time. Really, really, really grateful for what you're doing in terms of leadership, and I want to say thank you for
Okay, so much, sir.
inviting me. I want to say thank you for your consistency as well. And I strongly believe that Nigeria is a better place because people like you are there, doing things like this and also influencing and impacting the next generation of leaders. So thank you so very much for doing all you are doing. Um,
Thank you, sir.
so moving on quickly because of our time, I am going to be talking today about the power of purpose-driven leadership. Um, I'm trying to share. Uh, I was My slide is not working. Okay, that's okay. I think we can move forward. Really, can you still see my slide or not? So, like Miracle said, my name is Amos. I am a certified coach from Cambridge University, a member of Cambridge University Coaches Association, as also Association of coaches as well, a trainer, a speaker, project management professional, a father, and also a husband, and a youth pastor. I am passionate about helping people discover their leadership potential of greatness because I believe that everyone is created to be great. And including you listening to me, I believe that everyone is created to be great and God does not create a trash. So you are created with a seed of greatness on the inside of you. I've been privileged also to offer a book called The Seven Secrets of High Achievers. What I did in that book was to glean through the lives of people who have lived in history and to pick several things we can learn from their lives and which can make anybody to be successful. Looking at the power of dreams, looking at the power of focus, look at the power of consistency, and also the last one was the power of massive execution. Because you can have a dream, and if you're unable to execute your dream will remain in the realm of dreams. So today, briefly, we're going to be looking into the identity of a purpose-driven leader, the KFC model when it comes to purpose-driven leader, the purpose-driven leader, and working with people, and also we're going to be looking at the impact of purpose-driven leadership and influence. Uh, so uh, so during my life journey, I've been looking at what exactly is a purpose driven leader. Because purpose driven leaders are not, they just don't lead. They lead based on their values, based on their purpose, based on their passion, and they are willing to die for what they believe in. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. of blessed memory, April 4, 1968. He was in Memphis, Tennessee, and he was speaking, pouring out his heart about a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And it became a product of assassin. During that time, he lost his life, and few decades later, we can see a man called Barack Obama who came up based on the product of the dream. Purpose driven leaders are driven by their convictions, by their passion, and their purpose. And I strongly believe that anybody who want to be a leader, who want to lead as a leader, must lead based on purpose, because leadership is an invitation to solve a problem. And as a purpose driven leader, you must identify the problem you've been assigned to solve. So moving on quickly, I don't know if you can still see my screen. Um, I put why purpose driven leadership is important. It's important because everything on earth you can see, everything that exists, they exist for a reason and for a purpose. For me, purpose driven leadership is more than just leading. It's about leading with intentionality. It's about leading with meaning, leading with clarity, leading with a deep sense of identity, because many people are born into existence and they depart, and only very few people discover their purpose, discover, the reason why they were born. People discover where they were born, they discover how they were born, they discover who actually gave birth to them, but they don't discover why they were born. When you discover why you were born, you are just part of the people who have been, that's 30% of people who are purpose driven leaders, who are changing history. And a wise man once said, I read in a book, and he said that um, um, some people die at 21, but they are not buried until they are 65. Why? Because they did not discover the reason why they exist. So as a purpose-driven leaders, you discover why you were born. You discover the problem you were here to solve. You discover the assignment you were here to do. And that is what is going to keep you going as a purpose-driven leader. And also moving forward as a purpose-driven leader, you discover that the three things I'm going to be sharing today. Number one, the discovery. How do you discover yourself as a purpose-driven leader? And number two, we're going to be looking at the purpose-driven leader and the people you work with. And how do you engage with people? And then number three, we're going to be looking at the influence of purpose-driven leadership. So purpose-driven leaders, they just don't transform how they lead. They also shape the life of people. They just don't live by transformation. They shape the entire life of the people that they lead. And a wise man once said that there are two most important dates in a man's life: the day you were born and the day you discover why you were born. Because we live in a society, we live in a world where, a lot of people have been defined by their parents, their circumstances, their families, and their teachers. I remember the story of of Albert Einstein. When he was free, he couldn't speak, and when he was 9, his speech was still very very slow. And his teacher called him mentally retarded. His teacher said that you can never amount to anything. He did not listen to the opinion of his teacher, and he became the father of modern physics. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot be who God has created you to be, because there's a seed of destiny on the inside of you. So don't believe in what people are saying. You need to discover who you are, and you discover the assignment that you're here to solve. So moving forward, if you can still see my slide, I put in the picture of a lion on a street, and an eagle inside the water, and a fish that has just been that is on that the outside of the water. If you look at these three pictures, you discover that they are people out of purpose. Lion on the street cannot fulfill purpose because that was not where it was created to be. An eagle inside water cannot fulfill purpose as a leader. And a fish out of water cannot fulfill purpose. So if you are out of your environment as a leader, you cannot be a purpose driven leader. But put a lion back in the jungle, he becomes the king of the jungle. Put an eagle back into the air, he begin to soar and become, the king in the air. Put a fish back in the water, then they begin to live their life, their purpose, why they've been created. And I always say that when you look through history, you see the story of Nelson Mandela, who was driven with vision and passion, of a free, equal South Africa, where the apartheid, was all over then. And he said he doesn't want apartheid to exist. And for 27 years, he was put in prison, and he suffered, for his conviction. And when he came out, he was not looking for how he can put people back in prison or shame his enemy. No, he was looking for reconciliation. That is a purpose driven leader. Look at the story of Mahatma Gandhi, who led Indian non-violent movement, to free India from the British colonial rule, and walking several, hundreds of miles, and it was seen as a voice of justice, for Indian people. Even in our current world now, you can look at different people who shape history, and I'm saying that you also can be a purpose driven leaders. You're not driven by fear, you're not driven by what people are saying, but you are driven based on your passion, your vision, and your and what you believe in. So as a purpose driven leader, number one thing you need to do is to discover your identity. You discover your identity. Who are you as a leader? Who are you? As a leader, leaders are very unique set of people, and leaders don't think like followers. You see, when a lion is not the fastest in the animal kingdom, it's not the biggest in the animal kingdom, it's not the tallest in the animal kingdom, it's not even the wisest in the animal kingdom, but there's something about the lion. It's an identity. A lion believes that when he shows up, something must happen. There's a mentality you need to have as a leader, a purpose-driven leader, that make you to believe that when you see a problem, you are not looking for who will solve the problem. You become a solution to a problem. You are not looking at a problem and you are seeing a problem. You are looking at a problem and you're seeing a solution within that problem. Because as a purpose-driven leader, you discover your identity, which is who you are. You discover your purpose, which is why you are here. You discover the problem, which is what you've been created to solve. You discover your strategy, which is how, and you discover your assignment, people you are called to, which is your where. You discover also that anything you have all around you, they are screaming for your attention. Why? Because you are a leader and you are a voice of change, a voice of change in your generation, and a voice of change in your community. Be, moving on quickly because of our time. I always say that an army of a sheep led by a lion will defeat an army of a lion led by a sheep. So as a purpose-driven leader, you are a lion. You are bold, you are fearless, you are courageous, you are visionary, you know what you want, and you know how to get what you, even if you don't know how to get what you want, you go and research and read books and look for mentors. We're going to get there and see how you can develop the capacity so you can build more, grow more, know more, and be the person you've been created to be, because leadership is very, very important. Nothing happens without leadership. Nothing begins without leadership. Nothing improves without leadership. Nothing progresses without leadership. And nothing succeeds without leadership. Leadership is very, very important. So, as a purpose driven leader, there are some leaders called to solve global problems. There are some leaders to solve problem for students, solve problem for NGOs, problem for schools, small problems, big problem. It doesn't matter what sort of problem you solve, but as a leader, you must be solving a problem, because leadership is an invitation to solve a problem. So, A of a leadership when it comes to a purpose-driven leader is you must accept the responsibility for providing solution to a problem. Number two, you must believe that you've been called to solve a problem. Number three, you must be committed to start what you must be committed to start with what you have, because you've got something. I've seen a lot of people saying that I don't have skills, I don't have this, I don't have that, but you've got something. God does not create you empty. You are a solution provider. There was a voice from heaven calling you with a lot of content put in a container and delivered to this continent. So you are here on a purpose for a purpose, on a mission for a mission, on an assignment for an assignment. Never look down on yourself. Never ever look down on yourself. And the D of that is you determine and you're willing to go all the way when it comes to being purpose driven. And when you look at when you look at your identity as a leader, I have a model called the KFC model, because if you want to really look into that and look into how to explore, break things down, number one thing you need to do is you need to know where you are. As a leader, you need to know where you are on the way to where you're going. Identify where you are now, because when you know where you are, it's called self-awareness. Where you are as a leader help you to assess your strength, help you to assess your weaknesses, help you to assess your potential, the obstacles and things around you. You're able to assess where you are. If you want to take a flight, when you go to maybe Murtala Mohammed Airport, you need to know where you're flying from. That's where you are. Where you are on the way to where you're going. And number two is you need to know where you're going. So where you are is the first step. The second step is where you are going. That's the future. Where do you want to go? Where you get to Murtala Mohammed Airport, yes, that's good. But where you flying to? Because there are a lot of flights there at Murtala Mohammed Airport. You can't just say, if the immigration officer asks you, excuse me, where are you going? And they say, just put me on any flight. They will know that is either you're a terrorist, or something is wrong with your mental health. So, as a leader, you must know where you are and where you want to go. Where you want to go is very, very important. You must find that out. A wise man once said that a leader is a person that knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Because when you find out where you need to be, you're also able to take people with you. You're also able to help people and draw them close and help them to navigate their leadership journey. So as a purpose-driven leader, you must know where you are going. You must have the destination in perspective. And number three is you must be willing to change. You must be willing to change. As a purpose-driven leader, you must be willing to change. And this is very interesting, because we live in a world where things are changing every day. Things are changing every day. 10 years ago, there wasn't anything like AI. There wasn't anything like, things we see now, nothing like Tesla. And we can see how things are changing very fast, very fast. So, as a leader, you need to change your mindset, develop a new skills, build better habit. Develop your relationship, with God. Discover yourself more, and you need to change. You cannot stay in a place and expect, to have new result. I think a wise man once said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That is the definition of insanity. So, as a purpose driven leader, you must be willing to change, because we are in an era of change. We are in an era of change, and purpose driven leaders, they believe that good is not good enough. They want to go for exception. They want to be exceptional, whether in technology, whether in leveraging when it comes to artificial intelligence, because even now AI is taking over, people's jobs. People have been made redundant. Things that you kill to get, now you can get it, by going to chat GPT, and it will give it to you straight away. And things are just different nowadays. You get information very fast. Things happening in China, you know it now. Things happening in India, you know it now. We are in a revolutionary world now, where as a leader, you must change the way you see things. And I always teach these that, when it comes to change, there are four compartments in a change room. In a change room, there is a compartment called the contentment room. The contentment room is when you are contented, you are not willing to change. And I remember the story of this industry, of Kodak. Kodak used to produce films and stuff, a while back. And Kodak went down the technological age. They went down the drain. They were forgotten. They were history. Why? Because they were not willing to change. They were not willing to change. The employees in Kodak then, they were telling, the managerial team, they said, change. Look at how things, look at the new ways of working. These are things happening, change. But Kodak are saying, no, we're just going to stick to what we're doing. And now they became dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are extinct. If you don't change, you'll become a dinosaur. You become extinct. The second room within that room of change is a denial room. The denial room is, you know that you want to change, and you are denying the fact to embrace the change. The third compartment in the change room is a confusion room. You want to change, but you are confused. You don't know how to change. That is where you need a purpose-driven leader to bring everybody back to purpose, the reason why you're doing what you're doing, and then create, a direction of focus whereby you are driven by a purpose-driven leader, and you're able to achieve your end goal. And number four compartment is what I love is called the renewal room. The renewal room is where you challenge every paradigms, everything you've ever known, you've ever believed, you challenge it. Although you are doing great, you tell yourself you can do better. And this is the renewal room. For example, you have we know we have taxis company, yes, but when you have taxis, and now we have Uber. With Uber now on your phone, you can call for an Uber, and Uber will arrive within a specific time. You can even be tracking it. Before, you can't even do that with the taxi. We have a regular film house, now you have Netflix. We have hotels, now you have Airbnb. We have retail shops, now we have Amazon. We have DVDs and cassette players. I don't know if people still have cassette players. I know some people still have cassette players. We have cassette players, and now you have online downloads. So it's so amazing. Even during lockdown, when people were doing physical meetings and stuff, and Zoom just came in and took and wiped things up, and their shares just went skyrocketed, and they became a billion-dollar company, because they are in that renewal room. So, as a purpose driven leader, you must be willing to change. And the second bit is around investing in people. As a purpose driven leader, you invest in people. You see, purpose driven leader believe that 20% of success come from what they know, but 80% come from who they know. Mm. 20% of success you have come from what your development, your skills and stuff. But 80% of success come from who you know. So people are your social capital. You need people in your life. You have to be intentional when it comes to developing people. You have to build purposeful relationship. You have to help people to move forward and upward. And at times in the journey of helping people, there are some that might not even look like it. At the moment, I remember the story of a man, David, in the Bible, who invested in these guys who were thugs and they don't even have a future in Nigeria. We call them no future ambition, NFA. And he just gathered these 400 guys together and he started to help them and mentor them and give them skills and develop them, and he invested in them to the extent that they became a strong army for him. So at times you need to just gather people, who doesn't know their left off with their right, and you help them, you develop them, you believe in them, and you help them become a better version of themselves. That's what leadership does. And when it comes to working with people, there are three categories of people. Don't ever forget this. When you're working with people as a purpose-driven leader, the three categories of people you need to be aware of: number one, they are online; number two, online, upline, and downline. Online, upline, and downline. Online, upline, and downline. Online, when it comes to people, friends who are online, or categories of people who are online, can also be divided into three categories. We have the confidant, we have the constituent, and we have the critics. Confidants are people that believe in your dream. They are people that believe in your success. They are people who want to invest their life into what you are doing. And they will not backstab you. They will not talk. Even if you're down, even if you're not making progress, they will be the one saying that, "Come on, you can do it. We believe in you." They will never, ever, ever say anything negative about you, but they will be there to support you. They will be there to help you. And if you have two or three of this kind of people around your life, you must be a very, very lucky person. So you need a confident people who believe in you, in your God-given ability. And also we have constituent. Constituent are people who you work with. They also believe in you, but they are there for a season and for a reason. Once the season is achieved and the reason has been taken, they will leave you. They will leave you with the ideas you've given them, leave you with all your or everything you've given them. They will leave you and leave you with everything that you've invested in them. These are constituent. They are there, but they are there to leave. Don't ever forget that as a leader. And also we have the critic. The critics are people who doesn't really believe in you, but they're just there to criticize you. So don't listen to critics. They're just there to criticize you, to pull you down, to say something negative about you and create stuff about you. So as a leader, don't believe in critics. They are there, but they will always be there. But never ever mistaking a constituent for a confidant. Whenever you mistake a constituent to a confidant, you give all your secret to a constituent, thinking that they are confident. And by the time the reason why they are in your life has been accomplished, they leave. And then you are broke. You are empty. They leave with your secret. So be very, very careful when you are dealing with people. Also, that's the online. We also have the upline. The uplines are mentors. As purpose driven leaders, you must not be an island of knowledge. You must have people that you look up to, people that speak into your life, help you, that mentors you, people that they are giant that you're standing on their shoulders, people that they've seen it all, they've done it all, and they're just giving you their life lessons. So in your life, in your journey as a leader, you must also have an upline person, which is your mentor. And also the number three, is you must have a downline. A downlines are your mentees, people that you pour into, people that you give back to. Um, I, if in geography, the only sea called the Dead Sea, uh, is dead because it only takes and takes and takes and doesn't even give out. That's why it's called the Dead Sea. Anything you put inside Dead Sea will die. So if you are a leader, you are getting from mentors, getting from onlines, and you are not giving back, you're just an accident about to happen. There's no successor. You cannot live further than yourself. Why? Because everything you know is going to end with you. So you must find people that you need to invest in. Moving quickly because of our time. As a purpose-driven leader, you must be a leader of influence, a leader that lead by influence. John Maxwell said that leadership simply is influence, influencing people. Purpose driven leaders, they are vision led. They are leaders, that are leading with vision, with passion, with conviction. A leader without a vision is like a ship that does not have the rudder. A leader without a vision does not have a clear picture of what the future could be. A leader without a vision is an accident about to happen. Don't ever follow that leader. Leadership, when it comes to purpose driven, must be purposeful and it must be visionary. So, what are the practical ways to actually influence people as a leader? Number one, you have to be authentic. Authenticity is very, very important because we live in an age where now we've got the millennials, we've got the Gen Zs, and now we have Generation Alpha, and this kind of, especially Gen Zs and Generation Alpha, they look for authenticity. They look for authenticity. And when it comes to authenticity, that means that what you say is what you do as a leader. You know, whatever you are telling them to do, they're also seeing you practicalizing it. So as a leader, you must inspire trust in people, because people believe in you. You gain their loyalty by being authentic. Number two, you must be present when it comes to give people the gift of presence, because at times, when you're talking to somebody, and your attention is divided everywhere, you're looking at them, you're talking to them, but you are not actually there, you're thinking of something else, and somebody else is greeting you, you are leaving them, going to greet somebody else. You are just, messed up. As a purpose driven leader, you must be willing to give people that gift of presence. You zone into them, you listen to them, you give them your 100% attention, because you don't know what they are going through. You don't know what they've been through. And by you giving them that 100% attention, they are seeing you as somebody that they can trust, somebody that listens to them, and somebody that cares about them. Also, as a purpose driven leader, encourage people. Because of our time, I'm just going to list it. Delegate. Don't just do things all by yourself. Delegate, 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 delegate. Give people opportunity, work with them, and also leave them to make mistake. And don't criticize them in front of other people. Pull them in, help them to build their confidence, and help them and deploy them back, so that they can grow and they can also learn what you're doing. As a purpose driven leader, you must also create a community, an atmosphere of belonging, for people that are following you. As a purpose driven leader, um, you must celebrate people publicly. If people that are following you have done something amazing, celebrate them publicly. Be their number one cheerleader. Help them. Build their confidence. Develop high esteem when it comes to people. Because nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you cares about them. So you have to care genuinely, you know, care for people, care about their life, care about what they're going through, and just be genuine when it comes to you interacting with people. Also offer resources that can help build people up. That can help, build their confidence up. Before, because of our time, I'm just going to wrap up now. Really, I always believe, like Nelson Mandela once said, that um, it always seems impossible until it's done. Um, I want you to believe in yourself. If you want to be a purpose driven leader, believe in yourself. There are people that will not believe in you. There are people that will not believe in your God's given dream. There are people that will not believe in your ideas, including people from your family. The father of Wright brothers are the people that build the airplane. The father of Wright brothers, he was a minister, he was a pastor. One day he was preaching and his children were sitting at the front row in his church. And he knew that they were building this thing, this machine, and they wanted this machine to fly. And he was there preaching, and he said, if God wanted humanity to fly, he would have created us with wings. He was pulling their ideas down, telling them that it's not possible. It's not possible. But you see, never believe the opinion of people. Believe in yourself. Believe in God's ability concerning yourself. Be careful who you listen to. You are not too old. It's not too late. You can start to develop now your leadership capacity. You have to believe in yourself. The number one person that needs to believe in you is you. Because what you believe is what you behave. And what you behave is what you become. So I'm challenging you to be fearless. I'm challenging you to go back. If you need to study, go back and study. If you need to go back to school, go back and school. If you need to write and get a mentor, go and get somebody that can help and develop the best in you. Because you are different. You are special. You are amazing. You are awesome. You are here on a purpose for a purpose, on an assignment for an assignment. God does not create trash. You are here as a solution to this world. Yesterday is history. Today, you can make your mark in history. Focus on yourself. Focus on God's given idea inside you. Focus on becoming a better leader. And most importantly, focus on becoming a purpose driven leader. Be consistent in it. Speak to people like Miracle, who was already, working in this space and networking with great leaders across the world. Make your mark in history because you were not born to fit in. You were born to stand out. Thank you, Miracle, for your time. I'm happy to
Wow.
questions. Thank you.
Wow. 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 Thank you so, so much. I'm really, really grateful. I mean, this was like a therapeutic session. It was looking like, someone was here and is listening to this and you're meant to listen to this. Thank you so, so much, Sam. I'm really grateful. And so I discovered something that oftentimes when people see the topic purpose-driven leadership, it looks far-fetched. It looks like it's for some certain people. It looks like it looks like an administrative kind of topic. So the two questions. This is the first one, since our time is almost running out, but this is it. Is in clear terms, what would you say? I mean, to simplify the definition of purpose-driven leadership so that everyone can understand what it truly means, what would you say in simple terms a purpose-driven leadership is? And is it for everyone? And is it a subject for everyone, or is it a subject of certain people?
Purpose driven leadership simply means finding your purpose, the reason why you're here, your why, your assignment. Finding it and leading based on your assignment. Simple as that. Purpose driven leadership, I know we use it in organizational, jargons and stuff, but basically means that you look inward, you find out the reason why you're here, and you lead in that sphere of influence. Whether you are leading in your local community, whether you're solving a problem for a big organization, whether you're solving a problem in your family, whether you're solving a problem in school, you are leading in that sphere of influence. That simply is purpose driven leadership.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so we've come to the end of this section, but before we let Dr. Amos go, I want to ask him, sir, I've watched you and I've studied you, I've observed you, assisting with the content, and you've had experience dealing with different set of people. And I
Mm.
believe that one of the reasons why we're having this section is to help people have a better understanding of what leadership really means. And so my question is, how can we help other people? And In your experience in your years so far with dealing with different set of people, you've met different set of people, what advice would you give to this generation? What's something you want this generation should know that you felt that okay, they should know something like this?
Oh, look, people are precious. People are can be your next golden key to your next level. Never look down on people because the person you call a nobody today can actually be your access to that breakthrough tomorrow. When it comes to people, people can be in their faces. So don't judge people based on their now. If somebody is to walk past Joseph when he was in the pit, he would have said, "Oh, look at this guy." In fact, he was not even wearing his clothes. His cloth of many colors has been taken away. So he looked as if he was, he has committed an offense, and somebody will have walked past him,
Hmm,
not knowing
hmm,
that he's walking past the next prime minister in Egypt. So when it comes to people, never judge people, help people, invest in people. In fact, if God thinks that people are worth dying for and He sent His best to redeem,
hmm.
who are you to look down on people? So, people are your greatest social capital. Invest, invest, invest in people.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so we've come to the end of this section, and then okay, so let me just read some of the comments. Some people said, "Oh, we have lesson saying thank you so much, sir. Great conversation, mind blowing. Thank you so much." And Mr. Amos, I want to say thank you so much. I want to thank you for your gift and for the fact that there are a lot of people you've inspired, and the fact that I mean, when you were speaking, it's been a while. We had people staying steadily on this section, and we had people staying steadily on it. And I want to say thank you because I think it was a great section, and that's why people are really on it, stay on it. And thank you very much for those who have been on it. And you could connect to with Mr. Amos on Instagram. Amos, so please could you say that so that I mean if those want to reach out to you, could also reach out to you and follow you
Yeah,
on Instagram and all that.
absolutely. It's Amos 365. Amos
Okay,
365. Yeah. So if you just type Amos 365, yeah, you get me, and we can take this conversation forward and help to help you with your journey, in developing, discovering, and deploying you to this world, so you can fulfill, your God's given talent and potential. Really, yeah.
okay,
But
okay, sir. Thank you so much.
I want to say thank you so very much for the amazing work you're doing. Honestly, you are on the cutting edge, of inspiring and helping this, generation. I know what is happening in Africa. I know we need more of you, and in Africa that can do this, bring people together, inspire hope in people, and I will say, keep the good work. I've watched you, I've seen consistency in what you're doing, and you've been speaking the same message. And I want to say, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
Thank you so
And
much.
anytime you are in
Thank you.
the UK, let me know.
Okay.
We all still in Cambridge.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Okay,
God
everyone,
bless
we are going now. Thanks so much for joining us as well too. Thank you so much,
you.
Mr. Amos. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, sir.